started if you have specific questions. No need to wait. So I think we're talking about data analysis assignment number 2. Any questions you have about the paper based on the feedback you got, and anything else you need? I think the things that I was going to point out.
Can you, sorry,
No.
Can you talk a little bit more about what you're expecting for like the final proposal? You know, I know you have guidelines in there, but it's somewhat vague. So can you talk a bit about that if we have time?
Absolutely. And we should make time because this is the last Zoom meeting we have before that's due. So maybe I'll wait another minute because I suspect there's other people who might have questions about that. So I switched over to the proposal assignment since you're the only person on and it's 7. Let's go ahead and answer the questions that you have about this. And then if others join, we can see what other questions they have.
Wait, Bonnie, did you just say that she's the only person on?
Oh, look, there's another.
There's a lot of people on.
Oh, there's a lot of people on, actually. There's
good.
There's
quite a few.
Like 8 of us on, I think, or something.
I think because you shared your screen, maybe you only saw me because I talked.
Yeah, it's Emily, Brittany, Shyla, Seifu, Christian, Beverly, Nasser, Shyla. I think I said that already.
Yay.
Yeah, you have a class. You have a class.
Good. Okay, so we're going to start with the research proposal because that's the first question I got. And the observation was that these are kind of vague and you only have 15 pages plus your title page and your references. And so let's go through exactly what we're looking for this. So the grading rubric kind of spells out the title and how I'm going to be looking for if it accurately reflects what the study is about. The abstract is concise and follows the format that you were given previously. The statement of the research problem should provide the rationale for why you're proposing this study and then justification. So why is it important and why are you approaching it this way? And then, and the significance. So how prevalent is this problem? How important is it? Kind of your chance to convince me that this should be done. And then your statement of the purpose should include some specific aims and the objectives of the study. And if you're doing an experimental design, there should be a research hypothesis. If not, you should at least have some research questions. The background part, you're going to say it needs to include your theory and the rationale, any related studies in the area, the methods that have been used in this work before, and any previous work that you may have done. Now, the background of the study, like for your dissertation, is going to be an entire chapter. You only have 15 pages total for this assignment, so you're going to have to be brief and summarize each of those things concisely, most likely in a paragraph. So you want to address each thing, but you cannot go into enormous depth on the background of the study. You just don't have the space. Then the methods, that's worth 10 points. So you really want to spend a little time and energy on this section. You're going to tell me about the subjects and the characteristics of the...
Hold on, pause a second.
Yeah.
Clarification. So the one you said that I was writing, so I didn't quite hear it.
Yeah.
The one you said that each part should be a paragraph, was that the background or the methods?
Yeah, the background.
The background. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Because as you do the background for your dissertation, you're probably going to have pages and pages and pages for each of these items, and you just don't have that room. This paper needs to be a total of 15 pages. So the methods, you're going to address each of these things, and this section's worth 10 points. So you want to tell me about the subjects, what sampling strategy you're going to use, how you're going to recruit people, how you're going to retain people, and then how you're going to collect the data. Do you have specific instruments in mind, and the reliability and validity of those instruments, but also the attention to your design to ensure the reliability and validity. So you may want to refer back to those chapters in the book. Then your procedures you need to explain in this section the study design and the details of how you're going to collect the data. What's the timetable? You're going to give me the information about your data management and the analysis plan. It's going to be critically important in this paper that your statement of the problem, your methods, the design, and the analysis match. So you can't tell me the research problem or the purpose of the study is to do exploratory or correlation and then get down and tell me there's a hypothesis and that you're going to analyze using ANOVA, because there's a mismatch between the purpose, the method, and the analysis. So please, I tried to make comments in your outline if you provided that much detail so that you could really match those up, but really pay attention to what is my purpose, and in the research question, I should be suggesting, depending on the language I use, what type of analysis. So if I say I'm going to look at relationships, then I'm going to be looking for analysis that looks at relationships. If I say I'm going to be looking for differences, then the analysis needs to be to evaluate differences. So those things are really important. You'll get 1 point for the literature cited and 1 point for the protection of human subjects. So those sections, just as long as you address those. The literature cited is if you miss an important study on this topic and you're proposing something that's already been done, then you haven't done an adequate review of the literature. But for the most part, it's just citing relevant literature on your topic. So with that explanation, what other questions do you have about the proposal?
Hi, is there like an example of an abstract that you maybe have liked that someone has done before that would be helpful to us just as I think one of the things is I feel like in all these classes we've had to write abstracts, but we've really never had anyone teach us how to write one. And so I've sort of always been just kind of trying to wing that. And it would be nice to have even like something that says, this is really the best way to do it, or.
That is such a good question, Emily. And the reason I think that we don't provide a template is because each journal that you submit to for publication has their own specific template. And quite honestly, any of those work.
Okay. So for you, does it matter? Should we just use I know we had to do that with Jackie Jones. We had to use the template of the journal we might submit to.
Yep. And I think it's a little far down the line before you are going to have this ready to publish, but that really is not a bad way to go. Think about the study that you're doing and what audience is going to be interested in it, and go ahead and pull up their author guidelines, because it's going to help you not only with the abstract, but sometimes they have more specific guidance around what they want the sections to look like. And I think I've told this to you guys before. I use those templates pretty concretely. When I decide what journal I'm going to, I even, I count how many paragraphs they have in the background. And sometimes I need a little more, sometimes I need a little less, but I still have an idea of what this journal likes by looking at a couple of examples from that journal. So I think that's very good advice, to go ahead and pick a journal, a target journal where you might eventually be headed, because you'll have some of this work done. Any other questions about any of these components or?
Well, you and I met already, and so I'm only bringing this up because it might help other people, but you told me about how to kind of come up with a sample size and to power that. And I think others might benefit from what you told me about meeting with the people at the school, and you gave me some really helpful hints that might help other people. If you wouldn't mind maybe talking about that a little bit.
I'm not even sure what all we talked about.
So we were talking about, I asked you, wow, I don't really have any idea how to come up with a sample, the exact sample size I would need to really power my study. And you said that I could go into the CRNA, I think it's called, and that they have, you can make an appointment and they'll help, but that I would have to make sure to bring in my my instrument that had all the information on the validity and reliability and stuff. So I thought that was really helpful.
Yeah, so there's the virtual CNRS, which you have, I have posted many things in this course from that virtual resource. But basically, if you go to the college website and go under research, it says virtual CRNS. And that is a whole bunch of resources. And one of the resources under there is a tab that talks about power analysis. And there are several different options of ways that you can calculate power posted there for you. But having said that, we did talk about their staff in in that CNRS, and they will make virtual appointments or they will meet with you in person, and you request those by going to that web page as well. And maybe I should just pull that up. So as you go here, you go to the Office of Research and Scholarship, and then go down this virtual CRNS.
Can you change and share your screen, that screen with us, Dr. Gans, because right now we're still looking at Canvas.
So sorry.
So then we can see where you're going.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Let's see, new share. Let's try this. Okay, so let me back up so you know how I got here. So you just go to the nursing homepage, and then you go to Centers and Research, Office of Research and Scholarship, and then you scroll down this page, and it says Virtual CRNS. And as you go in there, this whole tab tells you about power analysis. And these are all the tools. But having said that, they will also make an appointment with you and help walk you through. And let me see. And the other thing I think we talked about, Emily and I, is in general, a good ballpark figure is that you can use 30 per group, depending on the number of variables. So that's just another kind of ballpark that you can use as you're looking at sample size. But
so I have a question, and maybe this is more for John because he's my advisor. Because I was talking with him today on my plan, and it's to use an already existing database and run numbers. 30 seems like an insufficiently small number for that when you're dealing with big data. So should I just go by kind of his guidance in how to figure that out?
That's such an important question because, you know, for those of us who do little intervention studies, we worry about having enough subjects to detect a significant difference. But for you guys that use big data, you know, you have so much data that you can find significance even if there really isn't a clinical significance, just due to the nature of the sample size, things come out significant. So absolutely, it's still an issue. It's just an issue of how much data to use. And yes, all of you should be talking with your advisors about the design and the sample size. But there are resources for you to work with as well. And the CNRS has part-time statisticians that staff, and their entire job is supporting students. So that's a resource that's available for you. So anything else about the proposal that people want to ask about or clarify? Things you want to share?
Do you have a recommended number of different sources you'd like to see, or is it just what we would need since you have literature cited as one? I'm assuming that's just the appropriateness of it, but.
Yeah, it is just the appropriateness of it. And is there an important study that's been done that you've missed? And quite honestly, your mentors are going to be better at picking that up than I am if you're doing a topic that I don't have the expertise in. But certainly we'll be looking, there's no magic number. It depends on how much work has been done in the area. Anything else there, or shall we move over?
Bonnie, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
In the method section under like the plans for reliability and validity, are we using that based off of if we have another study that has for our tool already established reliability and validity, or are we saying like how we're going to maintain reliability and validity in our study?
Both.
So we're validating our tool that we're using and we're validating what we're doing with our study basically. Like,
So yeah, so in the instrument section, you're going to tell me that what reliability and validity has been established for that instrument. But in the method section, in your design section, you're going to tell me the steps you've taken in the design that strengthen the reliability and validity of the findings of this study. And how are you?
very pregnant.
Yeah. Hey, still hanging in with us.
Hanging in there. I was really hoping for the 11th, but no dice.
Can I follow up and ask quickly when you, so you just said, so in the design, we're talking about the reliability and validity more of like our study that we've done, but will a lot of that will sort of feed back into the reliability of maybe a tool that we're using, right? Because we might have said, oh, I'm using this tool, it's reliable, it's blah, blah, blah. And my study is also reliable because I'm using this tool, right? I mean, isn't that sort of what we would be saying?
That's the instrumentation part of it.
Yeah.
Remember, the true experimental design has strengths, and the whole chapter in your book around the reliability and the validity based on design.
Okay.
So it's both. But yes, using a strong instrument is one way, but you're going to have some others too.
Okay.
Anything else that anybody wants to ask? We're up to 9 people on now, so other questions, I'm willing to take them. Shall we move to the analysis assignment? See if I can find the tab. So the things I wanted to say about this analysis assignment number 2 are that I'm really expecting you to do kind of 2 different things here. So first of all, I apologize, this module was set up a little different and threw a few people a little bit of a curve. But if you go to the module and you go to week 12, this general linear model, so it's the 3rd tab down, has 2 different presentations in it. You want to listen to this one on the general linear model. Here are the slides with just the slides. And then here is the link to the assignment, talking you through what the assignment's about. So people have had a little trouble finding this. So I wanted to go there first and show you. And then this assignment really involves 2 parts. With the first part, you're going to use the tooth growth data set, which is the last tab in that module, which I should have pointed out while we were on that page. But it's an SPSS file with the data in it, and you're going to use that data set, and you're going to use the SPSS general linear model function to create some dummy variables. And Ollie walks you through in the video exactly step by step how to do it. Then you're going to copy your syntax using that copy and paste command and submit the syntax for question 2. So you'll create the dummy variable and submit the syntax. Then the second part is to conduct the ANOVA analysis to look at differences in tooth growth using both the 2 forms of vitamin C and ascorbic acid and the various doses of those things. So you have 3 doses of 2 treatments. So you're going to use the ANOVA analysis to look at which of those causes the tooth to grow more. And you're going to interpret those findings for number 4, for the 4th point in this. And he walks you through step by step how to do both of those things. And somebody asked a question earlier today, do you want to cut and paste all in one document? Doesn't make any difference to me. You can submit the SPSS file, you can submit all of it in one sheet, you can submit one sheet for each question. I don't care. As long as I get the answer, you get the point. So are there questions about this? Oh, one other important thing is if you have to have the grad pack, the SPSS grad pack. The basic will not do this analysis. So you have to have, at the minimum, the grad pack. And there's your breakdown in the points for this.
I have a question, Bonnie.
Yeah.
I tried to do the analysis, but when I create everything as the same as of the demonstration video, it shows me at the end that there is an application error. So I don't know if anybody tried and faced the same problem. I tried to search Google, and it seems that SPSS version 25 has the same problem. But I'm not sure if I'm the only one who got this problem or if anybody else got also the same problem.
Can you say a little bit more about where you got the error?
I'll show you the screen.
Yep, sounds great. Stop sharing.
Can you see the screen now?
Mm-hmm.
And just I did the same steps. I did the analyze, then go into the univariate, and I entered the same options that was demonstrated in the video. And at the end, I got this message, which is unrecoverable application error in the statistic processor. When I do any other procedure, it just did it correctly. But when I'm doing the ANOVA, it just shows this message. So I don't know if anybody else tried and got the results or got the same problem. I searched and I found that like the version 25 has this problem, but I'm not sure if I'm the only one who got this problem or everybody got it.
Can you, so you have the the findings that need to be interpreted right here underneath that box. And then, so your, your findings are there. Your sample in the two groups of ascorbic acid and orange juice are correct. Low, medium, and high are correct. I'm not sure what that error is about, and I will try to find out on campus tomorrow, but you have done it correctly, and all you have to do is interpret what's in that box underneath that error message.
Yes, the issue now, I cannot do the interpretation because I'm not getting the results. I'm getting the descriptive results, but when it comes to the ANOVA,
Pull that back up. This information in this box is, if you can tell me what's in, what does that box tell you about the analysis of this data? Because what you have there is answering the question.
also I don't have, you mean, to go for the other things.
I'm sorry, say again?
I mean, I don't have like to go for any other tables. You mean just using these tables?
Can you scroll down further on the page? No. Yeah.
This is what's just showing in the table. I did also the frequencies and descriptive.
Yeah, that box that you have at the bottom there has the analysis. The test of between subjects effects is your ANOVA findings.
Yeah, I was just trying to get also the blot and the post hoc test, but both of them, they are not showing here.
Yeah, I will try to get some help of what's different with version 25 compared to version 24 on campus tomorrow. But if you use this test of between subjects, you can answer that question.
Okay. Thanks.
And I'm sorry, share your screen again and go up to the top. A little. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. There's the post hoc tests aren't on there.
Yes.
But you still can interpret what the ANOVA tells you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You
I will anyway try to like fix the problem. Maybe I just have the problem, but just in case, I mean, any students can encounter the same problem, so it's like more common in the same version.
Yeah, let me find out if this is some glitch between version 24 and 25.
And you want this also attached to our analysis, right? So we can attach this however we want in addition to the dummy syntax and then our assignment, yeah?
Yes, and then an interpretation. And quite honestly, if you just give me that little box that if you want to just copy and paste that box, that's fine. Or if you want to upload the whole document, that's fine too. I don't care. Are there other questions? It'd be good if you ask a question I can answer though, Nasser.
Yeah, no.
I think, Nasser, I'm using the same version you are using. So I didn't face such problem. Maybe I did wrong. I don't know.
Did the same thing? Did you get that same error message?
No.
So I wonder what
I get over here. Let's share.
differently. And I know
Have you input all the options, like you go one by one, the blot and like for the post hoc test and all other options?
Okay, yeah, I got a plot. Let's see if this one. I got test of between subject and also marginal means and
then plot.
plot.
Yeah.
And I got the table also test of between.
And you're using version 25?
Yeah, we are using the same thing, I think, me and Nasser.
Yeah. Same one.
Okay, we will see. We will talk and we'll see if we will help each other.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't even have a guess why you're getting that error message. Any other questions about this assignment?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you for telling us where to find that file. Sorry, I was looking in module 11. So
I'm sorry. That
No
was
worries.
so confusing. And it's set up a little bit different, you know,
Yeah.
it's not on the first page.
no
So
worries. Sounds good.
sorry to stress you out. Okay. Feel free to email if you didn't understand the feedback you got on the outline. As you basically got credit if you gave me the parts, but I gave lots and lots of feedback, and you will lose points if the feedback that you got in the outline is not addressed in the proposal. So, and I used little sticky notes. If you can't see those, let me know, because that feedback you really have to incorporate into the final proposal. Excuse me. Any other questions? Okay, Brittany, keep us posted.
Will do, will do. This weekend, fingers crossed, everyone. This child just keeps getting bigger. Dear God.
Just so you know, my birthday is on Tuesday, so that's also a good day.
Like
Nice.
tomorrow or a week from? Oh,
Like a week
next
from
week.
tomorrow.
No,
Like,
no,
it's nice-
no, no.
Nice
no,
even
tomorrow.
number. No?
They're like Friday, Saturday, perfect.
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
I guess that's good because then you get out before the Thanksgiving holiday, or are you having it at home?
What, a home birth? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
No, I don't,
Okay.
not a home
Yeah,
birth.
I didn't know if you're like that, but you know, first time around, I know up here they like to keep you in.
Make you
So
nurse, you know.
yeah,
Make you
definitely good to get it done before the holidays.
nurse. Yes. Yes. Well,
I've
happy
been trying
holidays.
to convince Brittany for what, 6 months now that you don't call it? I'm telling you, these babies have a mind of their own.
I know, man. I would have had 11-11 if I had any say in it. Forget it. She just wants to grow to a ripe old 10 pounds and then come out in 2 weeks from now. I mean, what?
I'll tell you that I was induced on all 3 of mine. They all are perfectly healthy. And yeah, they would have been like 10 pounds because they were like 8.5, 9 pounds, all of them.
Inductions happen. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, 40 weeks, all of them.
Yeah. That's my next Tuesday will be my appointment for that conversation. So fingers crossed I don't make it there.
All right, good luck. We're thinking of you.
Thanks. I'll need it.
Okay, please, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you need anything.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Good night.